Alrighty, let's hope this works. Okay, so future me, I'm just gonna say this right now. Immediately, just go into Audacity and increase the volume of this because I'm gonna be far away. I'd say relatively, my mouth is currently like a foot away from my phone. So if you guys hear the fan in the background instead of my voice, I do apologize. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm being experimental again, okay? So I've done the Chessbait text-to-speech cast, I've done the Chessbait walk cast, and I've done the Chessbait bike cast. Now the only thing that's missing is the moped, and obviously sitting. I'm sitting right now, and I'm working on stuff, so I thought, you know what, might as well, let's just get it done. And what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about procrastination, because that's what I've been doing up to this point, and I am paying very dearly for it. Hey, it's my fault for trying to be big brain and taking big classes and then not working on anything. But that's besides the point. It's already past midnight for me. No, nothing's due at midnight, but you know, stuff is due the next morning and I want to actually get some sleep, which I most likely won't. I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is just kind of a self-perpetuating cycle. You do nothing, you get nothing done, and you end up in a worse situation. And every now and then, you go into Ultra Beast mode. You go into what's that? I forget the Dragon Ball. I forget the Dragon Ball reference. Whatever. So not Super Saiyan, but whatever the final form people talk about, Ultra Instinct or whatever. You get into that, and you know, I have that very deep inside me. It does exist. You know, it's kind of like the Avatar state for those of you who watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. It exists, but sorry, I just realized I was reading out some of my notes. Anyways, yeah, my point is I'm sorry, I'm just a little frustrated. My point is that you really shouldn't be procrastinating on stuff, okay? I mean, it's not, you know, it's not rocket science. Luckily, I'm not taking rocket science, so I don't have to study that. But you know, considering that this is going to be coming out months in advance, not months in advance, but I'm recording Drivecast episodes for whatever should be months later. Like, all of you listening in on Spotify won't know this by now, but all of the Drivecast episodes in season 1 and 2 have actually been from almost a year back, and I just wanted to have them in the backlog. None of you who are watching or listening on Spotify need to know that, okay? That you guys don't need to listen to any of those old episodes because some of them are classics. You know, the one where I talked about quote-unquote election fraud and vaccine stuff. You know, that's always fun to talk about. And I talked about the YouTube algorithm and how much it sucks a billion times in a row. And I've talked about, you know, how sometimes my mental health can take a dip. And sometimes, you know, it's kind of like a sine wave. You gotta go up and down and such. You know, I've talked about ding-dongs and glip-glops. I've talked about TEDx talks. And essentially, this really is just one giant TEDx talk. But, that's not my point. My point is that, you know, it's always fun doing these kind of things. But I'm starting to realize that last year when I started making Drivecasts, I was essentially just doing this to distract myself from, well, school. It's not that I didn't have an interest, it's just I kind of feel like I'm in this loop where I get super unmotivated. I realize I'm super behind. I realize what I have to do. I get what I have to do up to that point done, but everything after that's just kind of a wash. And, you know, rinse and repeat. It's like the quick wash cycle, except instead of a quick wash, it's a quick wash depression. But in all seriousness, though, it's kind of frustrating that you can work on something so hard, you can work on something for so long, but at the same time, you don't know what you're working towards. You know, when you're in elementary, middle, high school, you're being told what to do. All the good students just continue doing whatever the heck they want to do. Not whatever they want to do. All the good students continue doing what they have to do, but after that, they're, you know, kind of, they don't really have a point in life. And here's the thing, I enjoy a lot of things. I enjoy playing Mario Kart, I enjoy watching soccer, and I enjoy watching TV shows, especially on Disney Plus, Netflix, and even Crunchyroll for all it's worth. But here's the problem. Like, I can monetize that. I definitely can. I know I have the personality to be able to be able to share that kind of stuff. I mean, considering that a lot of my favorite YouTubers and, you know, big Twitch streamers back in the day, they used to be just like me, just another college student, completely broken, not sure what to do. So they went to streaming, they went to YouTube, and, you know, they got big off it. Here's the thing though, my generation is the TikTok generation. I don't want to do that. Somehow the guy who thought that he would become a YouTuber thinks that TikTok is cringy. How the turns have tabled. But my point is, you really need to stop procrastinating, okay? Like, I'm listening to a lecture right now that I probably should have listened to like 2 days ago. There's like 4 different homework assignments that I need to get done by then, which I haven't paid attention to because, I don't know, even with like all the caffeine that's around me right now, I just don't feel like doing anything. The problem is, every day just seems so mundane. And the thing is, that I say the thing is, and honestly, and those kind of things, all too often. I understand that, you know, I try to improve myself every day, but I don't, because I don't feel like it. I kind of just slumped my own mediocrity. People talk about the gifted kid becoming a disappointment, and I don't know. The problem is, it's like, I'm a disappointment, whatever. I can be better at this. I just don't seem to care. It's like I have ambitions, but do I? I want to get better, but do I? It's not even a case of doubt. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I just feel so numb to everything, to the pandemic, to the world. You know, I'm starting to realize that the pandemic might have ended by the time this comes out. It might have not. Who knows? The problem is that I just can't... I don't know what to do. I mean, by the time this comes out, maybe I would have figured out what to do. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I would have gone broke. Maybe this Drivecast would never end up coming out. I make this Drivecast to tell people to stop procrastinating, only because I want to procrastinate on even getting anything done in the first place. The problem is, I'm just gonna be real and just put it right in front of you on a nice platter. People procrastinate just because they don't want to get work done. The problem with procrastinators is that those are usually the smartest of people, but they're always unmotivated. It's not that school is unmotivating. I mean, if they're in the right environment, in the right setting, they can get stuff done. People like me, sure, we'd be playing Mario Kart for like 10 hours a day, but that's because that's what drives us. There's a wonderful TED Talk, I think it's a TED Talk, by Mark Rober, you know, the guy, the engineering guy. Guy that's friends with Bill Gates, and he talks about how there's a thing called the Super Mario effect. If you turn education into a video game style learning environment where you get rewarded even for the smallest of things, which those small things can build up to big prizes and such, you're essentially rewarding people for just doing basic right things. And people meme about the social credit system in China and all that, but that's essentially what it is, but done on a proper scale. You know, people are able to actually do the right thing because they're being taught not only to do the right thing, but that doing the right thing will actually reward you. The problem with this day and age is that because everyone's out for themselves, or even if they are willing to help others, you know, there's always some kind of benefit that you have to get. You know, the problem is we're all living in a zero-sum game, and certain people will lose and other people will win. Sure, with technology, food and just overall resources will become a net sum game. You know, people will be able to get more than what's just coming out. But emotions don't work like that. You know, sure, love will create more love, hate will create more hate, sadness will create more sadness, and so on and so forth. But why did I start talking about all that when I meant to talk about procrastination and why it's bad? Who knows? The problem is, I just don't want to get anything done. I'm just gonna admit it. for some reason, I somehow kept going in YouTube. I managed to start a second channel and rope my friend Seashaw into uploading stuff more often. I feel like BoJack Horseman, you know, the tar pit, that's just bringing more people in. More videos, more views, you always gotta get more friends, you always gotta get more people on Discord, you always gotta meet new people, throw the ones that you don't talk to away, don't care about the ones that don't respect you, only surround yourself with yes people, yes men and yes women. That's what society tells us to do. It's always about the grind. And the thing is, in current recording time, I have a good friend, and we joke about the Sigma male grind set all the time. I don't know if it's dead meme by the time, you know, the Drivecast actually ends up rolling around, but, you know, it's still a real concept. Imagine, like, psychologists talking about the Sigma male grind set in, like, 10 to 15 years, but, again, besides the point, the actual point was that because Sigma males work so hard, because they're always grinding to get work stuff done, I can live that lifestyle. I could, but I just don't want to. It seems painful. And what are you gonna get out of it? Most people work super hard and get so little, and then you see people who play the lazy path and still score victory, and you think, I could be the lazy path. You just gotta think, you just gotta work smarter, not work harder. And I don't know, in this day and age, like, you think that you're smart enough to be able to find work, but then you just end up working at a fast food restaurant for like 12 years or something, I don't know. And the problem is that I don't know if that's what I truly want. I wish more companies would reach out, and there should be just a recruiting department. The thing is that when it comes to sports, there's always someone recruiting you. There's always people in the street looking at which person's going to be the next NBA star. They're always looking at high school or university games. Well, I mean, university still is a big, you know, big leagues, but mostly high school to see, okay, this guy's going to become good in the NFL. This guy's going to be good in the NBA, NHL. Okay, yeah, that dude. They always have someone. Even the freaking MLS has scouting networks now. But all other walks of life, for the most part, they just... Sure, they have recruitment, but it's quote-unquote recruitment. You know, it always has to be the student that approaches the companies and all that. And sure, it proves that these students have drive. It proves that students have the motivation to continue working, and everything's not superficial, but everything is always superficial. Your resume is superficial, your CV is superficial, all your references that you have are superficial, because all they care about is this person does well, this person doesn't, these are the numbers that are good, these are the numbers that are bad, these are good performances, bad performances. Here's a review, here's another review, here's a review of that review talking about how this review isn't as good as this review because the review didn't review this review as well. I know that sentence doesn't make sense. I'm super tired, okay? I need to focus back on my homework. Just to round out the entire Drivecast, I know this is a little shorter than usual, just bear with me. Look, I'm not tired enough to the point where I forget what I'm talking about mid-sentence and I start rambling on things that I really shouldn't. For some reason, that happens to me a lot more often than when I am a little under the weather. And by a little under the weather, I mean a little something my friends like to call alcohol. You guys probably understood what that meant, hopefully. But my point is, procrastination is bad, okay? If you guys are watching this Drivecast, missed other YouTube videos, genuinely, please, if you're on your phone, just shut it off until you're done with your schoolwork. Especially if you're in high school or university, please just get whatever you need to get done. There's always so much work that you need to get done. If you're watching this on your computer, please just leave a sticky note on the top left corner or something of your computer saying, like, these are the websites to not visit until you're done. And hopefully you should be able to get your work done that way. You know, you won't get too distracted. You'll see a giant sticky note on the corner of your computer that says, don't get distracted, you know you have to get that work done. I'm gonna get back to finishing homework. I should barely have enough time to finish them all by the time that I'm supposed to wake up for school, so thank you all for watching. Chessbait / Cheesebait out. I'll see you guys next time in the next episode of the Chessbait Drivecast. Again, like and subscribe. Follow me on Spotify. Follow me on Patreon. I don't have a Patreon. If you guys would like me to have a Patreon, I mean, by all means, but I won't be able to produce anything, which, you know, I don't want to be a sellout. Being a sellout is for when you're actually big, not for when you have only, you know, genuine friends listening to all your stuff, because that just seems greedy at that point. That's a Drivecast for another time. I'll add it to the list. I won't add it to the list. It's not really all that important. Again, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.